students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school, children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
Now today we're going to look at a nice story, and the name of the story is The King's Choice. Now this story is about the king of the jungle, and that is the lion. Now children, since we were very young, that is when we were in the lower classes, we have been learning a lot of animal stories, isn't it? We have been learning stories from the Hitopadesha, we have been learning stories from the Panchatantra, the Aesop's fables, etc. Now whenever you listen to such a story, or whenever you read such a story, what are we supposed to do? We are always supposed to take some moral from the story and try to apply that moral to your life. Okay, so whenever you learn a good thing from such stories, you should always take it back and try to apply it in your own behavior. So let us see what we get to learn today from the king's story, or the lion's story. Now you all know that the lion is the king of the jungle. He is a very ferocious, very brave animal. Okay, and when the lion sits and roars, it is said that the whole forest trembles. So that is how powerful the lion is. So our lion in the story today, he was also big, and he was strong, and he was very, very powerful. Alright, and there were many animals in the jungle whom he used to like, and those animals used to fear him also. Now out of all these animals, the king lion, or the lion king, he selected 3 animals as his ministers. Now the lion thought that I am a king, so I should have my own court, and when I have my court, I should have my ministers also. So the first animal that he called was a fox. So can you see a fox here? He said that you are very wise and you are very clever, so I want you to be my advisor. Okay, so this was the first minister that the king had, the fox, who was supposed to be his advisor. Now the second one whom he selected from all the animals in the jungle was the leopard. Okay, now these leopards, you know, these leopards are very strong, and they're very quick, and they're very agile. Alright, so he said that I want you to be my bodyguard. I want you to protect me. Okay, and then he selected one more animal, and that animal was the vulture. Okay, and he said, he told the vulture that you can fly high in the air because you're a bird. Okay, so what will you do? You will be my messenger. You will fly around, you will find out what is happening, and you will come and give me all sorts of information. So this way, the king appointed 3 people as his ministers, or as his courtiers in the court. Now these 3 courtiers, or these 3 ministers, they were very, very loyal to the lion. Okay, they used to always follow the lion around, and whenever the lion used to hunt, these 3 courtiers of the lion used to always get a share in the meal. Alright, so everything was going on fine, and everyone was happy. And then suddenly what happened is, one fine day, the vulture came flying to the lion, and he asked the lion, Your Majesty, have you ever tasted camel meat? The lion started thinking, oh, camel meat. So that would be interesting. He told the vulture, No, my dear vulture, I have never tasted camel meat. The vulture told him, So come on, Your Majesty, let's go to the desert and let us try and hunt a camel. He started telling the lion that the camel is a very big and fat animal, and it will satisfy our hunger, and we will be very happy eating the camel. The king now had to listen to his messenger, and the king also got a little bit tempted, okay, about eating a camel's meat. So he decided to, yes, listen to the vulture and proceed towards the jungle, towards the desert from the jungle. So see now, we have the king, we have the leopard, the fox, and the vulture heading towards the desert. Okay, now look at how the jungle looks. The jungle is all shaded. Okay, there is a lot of greenery around, and there must be a lot of water to drink. But now where were they headed to? They were headed towards the desert. Now these particular animals, that is the fox, the leopard, the lion, they are not used to living in a desert. They are used to living in a forest. Okay, so let us keep this point in mind when we go to the next part of the story. Now look at this change in scenery here. Now this is a desert. Now the four of them, they reached the desert. The vulture did not have too much of a problem flying, but the other three had to walk on hot sand. There was no shade, there was no water, and very soon the lion got tired. Can you see? Now the lion is getting very tired, and the lion started telling the fox and the leopard and the vulture that, oh my God, I cannot travel anymore. Okay, he said that I cannot walk, my paws are burning, and I'm feeling very thirsty, and I'm getting very tired. Let us go back to the jungle. Let us go back to the forest. I do not want to eat camel meat. Now what happened is, the advisors, they got frightened because they did not know how far they had come away from the jungle, and they did not know how to take the lion back home also. So the clever fox came up with an idea. He went up to the camel and he said, "Oh my dear friend, the camel, will you please help us? Will you please help us to take our king back to the jungle?" He said, "If you do that, then what will happen is that you will be rewarded richly by our king. Our king has already killed your master, and now you are a free animal. You can come and stay in the jungle with us." Now the camel became very happy, and the camel decided to follow the fox into the forest and also help them to cross the desert and go to the forest. So see here, the camel agreed to what the fox told him, and he went and he decided to help the lion reach back to the forest. So they began their journey back towards the jungle, and it was not a difficult task for the camel to walk on the sand because he was used to walking on the hot sand. So quickly he walked, and they very soon came back into the jungle. But by now the lion had become very tired, and not only tired, his paws were all burnt now due to walking on this hot sand. Okay, he tried to go out to hunt, but he sadly couldn't. And because of that, he started feeling very hungry. And now he started asking his ministers to get him food to eat. Again, our clever fox applied an idea. And what was the idea that the clever fox had? They wanted to somehow kill the camel and eat it. Okay, so that was the clever idea which the fox devised. Now we will see a small clip in which you will see what happened to the idea of the fox. Was he successful in convincing the king to eat the camel? And how did they smartly try to trick the king? But could they trick the king? All these things we'll be seeing in the small clip which will follow. Only remember, children, the vulture in the story has been called as the crow here. Okay, so just remember that point when we watch this part of the story.
The crow stepped forward first.
Your Majesty, we are sorry that we have found no food, but we can't let you starve like this. I am your most faithful servant and you can eat me. It will be my pleasure if I can satisfy your hunger.
O king, please eat me first. I have more flesh on me than the crow.
Then the leopard rushed in and said,
I am even bigger. Your Majesty, you can eat me first.
The camel was deeply moved by the loyalty shown by the three ministers. He too thought that it was his duty to offer himself as food to the king.
Your Majesty, I pray that you eat me instead.
You are all so true and faithful to me. I am deeply touched by your offers, and I accept them all. I shall eat all of you, but in the same order in which you offered yourselves.
The three ministers looked at each other. There was not a moment to lose. Away flew the crow, away ran the fox, and away fled the leopard. The lion had a hearty laugh. He turned to the camel and said,
You have proved to be my most loving and loyal friend. You shall live with me all your life. No harm shall ever come to you.
The two lived happily together.
So, children, wasn't that a wonderful end to the story? So the king realized who is the real friend of his, and the king also realized that the others were just trying to trick him. Okay? And the king realized one more thing. He realized that to be king is good, but to be kind is better. That is, to be king, you may have a lot of power when you are a king. That is a very good thing. But better than being powerful and troubling people, it is better to be humble and kind. Okay? So, kindness is a very, very important thing, and we should try to be kind to the people, to the animals, and everyone around us. Alright? So, that is what I have learned from the story. Now, you also must have learned many things, out of which this is one thing. So, you think about the story and think about what other things have you learned from this story. Now, children, whenever we do a lesson in English, we always learn, or we always look at the story, and then we look at a little grammar or vocabulary part which is there in our lesson. Now, in this particular lesson, children, we have an exercise on nouns. Okay? So, what are nouns? Nouns are the names of people, the names of things, the names of places. Now, certain types of nouns are called as common nouns, isn't it? Now, we are going to see about a division of common nouns, which is countable and uncountable nouns. Alright, so as the name suggests, countable means that which can be counted, and uncountable means that which cannot be counted. So let us now see quickly what the meaning of countable and uncountable nouns are with a few examples. So what are countable nouns? Countable nouns are nouns that you can count. Okay? You can put a number on them. You can use a or an in front of countable nouns. So when you say an apple, a chair, a car, a book, what do you say? You are using countable nouns. And countable nouns always have plural forms. You say an apple, you say two apples. A book, two books. A car, few cars. Okay, so countable nouns means you can count them. You use the a or the an in front of them. Okay, that is the definite article you use in front of them. And then you can always put the countable noun into plural form also. Let us look at some examples now. Bun, you say a bun, you say two buns. Okay, so bun is an example of countable nouns. Sandwich, apple, orange, burger, fries, a tub of fries, you say, a pack of fries, eggs, a bowl of salad. All these things are countable nouns. Alright? Now let's see what are uncountable nouns then. Things that you cannot count are called as uncountable nouns. So an uncountable noun cannot be singular and plural. So you have butter, you have meat, which is an example of uncountable noun. Let us look at some more examples. See, rice, okay, is an example of uncountable noun. Sugar is an example of uncountable noun. Noodles is an example of uncountable nouns. That means countable nouns can be counted. Uncountable nouns can be quantified. Quantified means you don't say give me one sugar. You don't say give me one rice. But you do say give me 1 kg of sugar. Give me 1 kg of rice. Alright? But then there are some points of confusion also. Let us try to clear that. So see, water is uncountable. Okay? We cannot say a water or an water. And we cannot say water and waters. We can't count water. But we can count bottles of water. So bottles of water is countable noun. When water is uncountable. One more example. We can't count soup, but we can count bowls of soup. So I cannot say give me a soup. I can say give me a bowl of soup. So bowls of soup are countable. Alright, let's take one more example here. See, we cannot count juice because juice is quantified. We say 1 liter juice, isn't it? But we can count cartons of juice, or we can count glasses of juice. Like we say how many cartons, how many glasses of juice. So children, this was in short about countable and uncountable nouns. Hope you enjoyed the story of the king and his choice, and hope you got to learn many things from the story. That is all for today, children. Let us meet again next time for another beautiful video lesson in English. Till then, thank you so much.
So children, wasn't that a wonderful video? And did you enjoy watching it? So if you want to watch more such videos in future, then please like this video and also subscribe to our channel, the MCGM Portal for Education, and also hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video here. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet again soon.